Hello there, welcome to our podcast that we haven't named.
I've got a name. If I could put the fourth one.
Please do.
Cass.
What?
Cass.
Shall we each have a word?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
What? All
Lion.
Bango.
What was your word, Zach?
Bango.
Bango.
Mine was ping pong.
So, Bango Ping Pong Lion is our new name.
Bango, ping pong lion.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Wonderful.
I think it's got a ring to it.
Welcome to Bango Ping Pong Lion, Episode 1, Season 1.
And I'd like to put forth the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Swamps.
What are you doing in my swamp?
A timeless reference.
Shrek
To
1,
Shrek
2,
1.
I think everyone,
and 3.
everyone knows that. Trick the
For
third.
those...
Shrek 4D.
No. No, what's
the fourth one? Yeah, it's got a
Happily
name.
Ever After.
Yeah, something like that.
They're a full feature-length fourth one.
Yeah.
So there was Shrek 1, 2, and in between
No,
1
Shrek,
and 2...
Shrek 2, Shrek the third.
In between 1 and 2 there was Shrek 3D and 4D, which is the same
thought-
movie.
Your donkey spits in your face in
Yeah.
the 4D one.
Yeah.
I thought there was a...
In the 4D one, I haven't seen it. Do they have the spiders?
Yeah, and then people below your legs touch you, don't they?
Oh.
What?
Because I
Yeah,
know
it's at Movie World.
the 3D one we used to have on DVD and it came with the cellophane
Yeah, I remember
glasses.
those.
That must be the same movie because they put a spider out and I was always thought that was good 3D. James Cameron-esque.
What a strange job to have. Touching other people's legs.
Well,
do
it's
you think?
actually...
Do you think it was automated, or do you think that was someone's,
No,
lots of
what
people's
if
job?
the automation went wrong and just killed?
Well, I don't know if
Off
Movie
someone's
World employed 130 people to sit underneath
Exactly.
the seats.
That's what I
They have
mean.
enough money to do that.
Well, I suppose so.
Overheads are quite high at that
Can I
company.
actually tell a story about when my family went to Movie World?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
I was 7, and I went there. I didn't want to walk around, so I made my family hire out a wheelchair, and they had to push me around, and I refused to go on any rides. And I was, for some reason, I was adamant to ruin my family's holiday. And
It's
so,
like $100 just to get
so
in.
yeah, so if you look at the pictures of our holiday in Australia, I'm in a wheelchair for some reason. And it's yeah, it might be quite quite strange if you didn't know why. It's actually quite strange if you know why as well.
Wow.
What were you saying there?
Just the anthology of
We were saying how Movie World's quite costly because there's 130 people, full-time employees, who just tickle people's feet.
just for that one. Is it still
For the
playing?
one spider scene.
I haven't
Shrek
been
4D.
back.
I don't know. I think they... Because I've got the Motion Master, which is
Did
the
you guys
Batman
ever
one.
see the SpongeBob one at
No.
Rainbow's End?
I've never
yes,
I've never been
I
to a
did.
4D movie. What's the SpongeBob one?
It was at Rainbow's End, and I just remember it was something about you're on riding the jellyfish, and
Yes.
you're like chasing after
Yeah.
them or something. Yeah,
It was quite cool.
and I think you were like following SpongeBob and Patrick. It was one of those ones where like you're a character in the show, and I don't really
Wow.
like that because I want to be SpongeBob.
I remember I went in Singapore. I went to Universal Studios, and I went to the best 4D one ever.
What was
It's
it?
Transformers. And so you're in this you are a Transformer, a nondescript one, and you're in a little cart, and then it goes down the hall. Drives down these tracks in a hallway. It's all made up to look like a city. And then at the end of the hallway, it would stop and jiggle around, and then there'd be a screen, and you'd be wearing these big 3D glasses, and it would be the scene playing on the screen, but it was seamless to the actual environment you were in. And then there was parts where you'd been thrown up in the air, and it felt like you'd been thrown. Oh, it was amazing.
Did you get your feet tickled?
No, but there was fire when a rocket got shot at you, and there was actual fire.
Oh.
It was quite.
That's a lot more intense than the feet tickle thing.
And it was
What
funny
it is
because
doing.
it was an old lady, and she was in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
and the people were trying to convince her not to go on it. And then she was like, no, I want to go on this ride. I love Transformers.
Disabled people allowed to go on all the rides? Is
At
there any-
a...
You would know.
Well, I couldn't go on any rides.
Because you didn't want to.
They wouldn't allow me to take
No,
my
I really,
wheelchair on.
I really wanted to go on the rides. I just didn't. I don't know what my problem was. Yeah. They paid for me to get in, so that's how I repay them.
I'm looking at the Pirates of the Caribbean poster at the moment, and do you know that the hashtag for the movie is #PiratesLife?
Hashtags on movie posters really well date them.
Yep.
Because what was that Jason Bourne poster that was just a hashtag? Or it was just like, he's back or something?
It was remember his name, or you know his name, or something
Such a
like that.
tiny little hashtag as well. It took me
Yeah,
ages
yeah.
to find it.
I
Yeah.
couldn't even see it.
By the Disney logo. Pirates Life.
Yeah.
What are they going to hashtag that? Like, people...
Yeah, just went
Living
to
a
see Pirates of the
pirate's
Caribbean.
It's just going to be a
Pirates
bunch of
Life.
Somalians just hashtagging away on Instagram.
You could also use it for Captain Phillips.
No, hashtag Pirates.
Pirates Life. Just robbed a bank. Hashtag robber's life. Hardened criminal's life.
So back to our topic of swamps. How many of you have actually stepped foot in a swamp?
I've never...
I have stepped foot in a swamp, I believe.
Tell me more.
It smelt a bit funny.
A swamp, where's this?
This was at a farm.
Ben! Dagobah! Ben! This may smell bad, but it'll keep you warm. Star Wars Episode 5.
Did you see the poll on our
Tauntaun,
movies?
yeah.
There was the results of the movie thing, like what people had voted on. Episode 5, I think, was very high up there.
For what? Best movie?
of all time.
That was a good
Episode
movie.
5.
And it was the most predictable movies list you can imagine.
What was on it?
Just like Pulp Fiction, Dark Knight.
Inception.
Yeah,
Was Inception on it?
I can't remember.
I mean, they are good movies, but not as good as Amadeus. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Never seen it though.
It's good. You should watch it.
Well, in the movie books over there on the table over there, they've added the
Highly curated movie books.
the highly created movie books. They've got the Rotten Tomatoes score of the
Who wants
percentage
to
of
see
people
it.
who want to see it, and so it's like 99, 96% of people want to see it. And I think about who goes on the movie page and
I
says,
don't want to
don't
see
want
that."
to see that. No.
Well, I feel I'm quite tempted now to do that. To like
You are?
Boss Baby, or I might start doing that.
Just make an honest prediction.
Yeah. Should we say where our studio is right now?
Of course.
We don't want any fan mail, do we?
We don't have a PO box
Yeah, but
or a.
our studio has a mailbox, surely.
I'd quite like them to send some fan mail through.
Well, we won't give the address or anything, but we are in a cinema recording this.
In a small town of Pukekohe. You guys do the rest.
You do the detective work, Matthew McConaughey.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, so we're not actually in a cinema though. We're in the lobby of a cinema.
Because there's movies on in the cinema.
Wouldn't have been very volume efficient.
Yeah, the acoustics. What does it have?
A flutter echo.
A flutter echo, yeah.
Explain what that is, Richard.
Cameron?
Well, it's kind
I'll
of...
do the clap, you do the echo.
Okay.
Those were the owls in the rafters. They absorbed the echo.
This place is almost as bad with its overheads as Movie World. Bought these owls to absorb the sound.
Yeah. And dwarves to move the curtains.
What's this, owls in movie world?
No, he's talking about hair.
Yeah.
You just loaned out.
Yeah, no.
You know, Zach, you said a would you rather the other day, or like earlier today, and I didn't hear either of the options because I wasn't paying attention. And we were both just sitting there in silence, and I was like trying to act like I was thinking about it, but I didn't actually know any of the options.
I was looking at you. I was looking at you, waiting for you to...
You keep touching my leg as well.
I keep touching Karen's leg because I think it's the back of a couch, but we're sitting on beanbags.
Hunched over our microphone.
A triple microphone setup.
In our studio. I'll repeat the would you rather for Cameron.
Yeah, okay.
And you better laugh.
And pay
This was
attention.
on Reddit. No, listen up. Would you rather be a sad, strange little man or a child's plaything?
Oh, I remember. I was like, why aren't you answering this?
I was like, that's a hard one. A sad, strange little man or a child's
Yeah.
plaything?
Do you get the reference?
No.
Toy Story.
Oh, I haven't
Is it
seen Toy Story.
Oh. all right.
What?
I haven't seen Toy Story.
Never
1,
mind.
2, or 3?
I've seen a bit of one.
It's from one.
Don't remember it that well.
Okay. Toy Story. Well, I'll give you a little bit of information about
Give
Pixar
him a 30-second synopsis.
on Toy Story.
Yeah. All
Oh,
3
hang
movies.
on. I'd like to hear a synopsis from you.
What do you think Toy Story is about?
What do I think? Toy
Cameron?
Story's
30
about?
seconds you've got.
Okay.
All right.
Do you guys
Got
want to get a timer up for this?
Yeah, we've got one going.
Okay. So
Can't
tell me.
read.
2,
Oh, right.
1, start.
So it's about this boy, maybe it's a girl, named Andy, and he owns this cowboy, and he writes on the foot of the cowboy, Andy, because it's his, and he owns it. Well, the toys can actually talk to each other, but only when there's no people around, and it's this real conundrum of having to act like toys when there's people around. And so anyway, Buzz Lightyear comes along, and he's a hot new toy, and everyone hates him, especially Woody, who's voiced by Tom Hanks. And so Buzz Lightyear comes along, and then they go on an adventure.
Okay, stop. I didn't know what was 30 seconds more from 1 minute. from 54 seconds.
Would have been 20 seconds past it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I stopped on. Luckily.
Perfect.
That was 30 seconds then.
Did I get it?
Yeah, first movie.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the other two, so
Oh,
You
yeah.
said you hadn't seen the first one either.
I said I'd seen parts of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. What was I saying about Toy Story, though? Refresh my memory.
You're going to say something about Pixar.
Oh, yeah. Pixar says, just do a project.
What kind?
What?
Well, Pixar say that none of their first movies were any good.
I disagree.
No, I actually have a short film collection from Pixar, and I don't actually like a lot of them. None of them are very good. So that's what they say. So they say, don't worry about whether it's good or not, because they're not very good. And look where they are. They made Wall-E.
Did.
I felt like crying during Wall-E quite a lot.
Give us that story.
Well, I was watching Wall-E at the cinema, and I was just thinking about how alone he is, and how I don't think he wants to be alone, does he? And I was like, I can't think of anything worse than being alone on Earth, creating garbage cubes. And that dreaded isolation made me sad.
What are some movies you have cried on?
Spider-Man 3. When Harry Osborn died, I cried in that. 500 Days of Summer, when he met that girl named Autumn, cried then.
Oh, the end of the movie.
Yes. Tears
Last
of joy
minute.
those were though, different to Spider-Man
Oh,
tears.
yeah. La La Land.
Yeah, I didn't cry in that, but
Neither did I, but I wanted to.
Oh, there was the one I watched recently.
we'll just all stay quiet until Richard remembers.
Nocturnal Animals.
Sarah liked that movie.
I like that movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
It starts with...
Well, tell me a 30-second synopsis.
Okay, so the movie opens with
Shut
these literally obese women naked, frolicking around,
For
and I
an
mean
obscenely long
frolicking
time.
for a good 3 to 4 minutes, I would say, and it's part of this art project, and none of them are very nice looking.
There's the
if you can
point.
say that, yeah. And so this is the opening of the movie, and it's kind of irrelevant to the whole movie, but that's my main takeaway from it.
So that was your synopsis of Nocturnal Animals. And that was, 30 seconds.
Wow.
So what I gather is that this movie starts with some obese woman frolicking in the field.
No, on stage.
On a stage.
Yeah.
Stage. Yeah.
It's a show.
It's an art piece.
Oh. Have you seen that video of Justin Trudeau doing an extremely long pause in his, like, an address to...
Like what they tell you to do in English class? Pauses are good. You should keep doing pauses. For speeches.
Oh!
Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think you meant in writing.
No. Oh, no. In speeches,
Just
you gotta
lots
do
of full
speeches.
stops.
Repetition and pauses.
What were some speeches you guys did?
I did one on being ginger, and I also did one on ladybugs.
How did that one start? Surely you remember the beginning.
It started with a little anecdote about when I was young. I went to Cape Reinga, and all the Asian people wanted to touch my head because I was good luck.
Okay, what else?
Some facts: 1% of the world's population.
No. What are the speeches?
Oh, I did one about the idea of if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Mm-hmm.
And I made a case for that. And I ended with, well, if you don't believe me, you can't see the wood for the trees.
What grade
What
did
if-
you get for that?
I can't remember. Probably a merit.
I remember one speech I did on was about water safety and drowning, and I remember my opening line was, "Drowning occurs when the lungs fill with oxygen, making it impossible to breathe." And in the middle somewhere I had a joke about how my mum doesn't like to swim, but she spends half an hour in the shower every morning. And my mum wrote that joke herself.
Did your mum write your speeches? Yeah, same with my mum. My year 7 speech was on euthanasia. My mum wrote it.
I think kids' speeches are just mums like position of vent and with like in whatever they're upset about.
I wrote all my speeches.
Oh, you didn't have a child?
No.
My year 8 speech was on if the moon landing was real.
What
Was
do you
it?
think?
Yeah, I got all my information from a Mythbusters episode.
What does Mythbusters think?
They thought it was real.
Did you see they've recast the two Mythbusters people?
And recast the moon landing?
Reshot it.
Really?
Yeah, there's two new people and they're taking over for
What are their names?
Jamie and Adam. Paul and Andy, I don't know.
What difference does it make?
They're gonna be shit.
Show's dead to me.
Yeah, I used to have a drawer at home filled with Mythbusters DVDs, and I never put them in my DVD collection.
Why?
They were a separate collection.
Ah.
Yeah, I sold them.
The Jamie and Jamie and Adam have a YouTube channel called Tested.
Yeah,
It's quite cool. Have you seen it?
Jamie's
I've
not on it, just Adam.
but Jamie produces it.
Yeah.
Does he?
He's put money into it, I think.
Well, they have that show, the podcast, the Untitled Adam Savage Project.
Yeah. A lot of my passwords when I was younger were Adam Savage.
It's a cool name. Up
Really
the first
is.
name.
Anyone who has a cool name, it's not really their name. Like, look, Bob Dylan or Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. I remember with this password thing.
What's his real name?
That is his name. No, that's the director.
Back to the Future.
His name's Robert Zimmerman.
Yeah, that's it. And who else has got a cool name? Axl Rose, not his real name.
David Bowie.
It's not spelled
David Bowie?
AXL.
Yeah, it's AXL.
Yeah, but that's not his real name. Never mind.
David Bowie's name's David Jones.
Yeah. Bruce Springsteen. It's not Bruce Springsteen or anything.
What is it?
Don't know. No one knows their real name. Slash.
How do
Isn't
you know?
called Slash.
His name's Saul.
Hudson, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who? Slash.
Slash.
Mm.
I just want to bring you back to this password of Adam Savage.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing the cross country once, and I was running, and for some reason I just kept going ADAMSAVAGE as I was running, spelling out Adam Savage. I don't know why. It was a strange sort of autistic thing. What were you talking about there?
I was talking about cool names that people have
Oh, yeah.
aren't their real names.
Yeah, who else?
It's mostly musicians, really. Prince, don't think that's his real name.
Lord.
Lord, no, definitely
Her
not.
name's Ella, isn't it?
Have you heard that?
Hello.
I was reading on Reddit where it was a thread about meeting celebrities before they were famous, and someone said Lord came up to them at a party and like tried to speak to them, and they just said like "fuck off, you're 14," and then that was it. Because she was 14.
Why
And,
was
you
she
know,
at a party?
I don't know, she was cool like that.
Yeah.
I never went to parties.
Apparently Lord's sister is a big thing in the gay community in Auckland.
Oh.
What does she do?
I don't know, they just hang around her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Hey, we're recording here.
please,
Excuse me.
when the red light is on, don't enter.
Live on air. Jesus Christ. We need to fire our interns, I think.
Yeah.
So swamps, anyway, back to swamps.
Yeah.
I'd like to give you a long fact on a swamp.
Okay.
Swampland covers 93% of the Earth's surface.
93%.
That's even more than the ocean?
A swamp.
You know, because really, swamp is an ocean. I think that's where the confusion comes in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because if you go to the bottom of the ocean, what's it look like? Swamp.
Swamp.
What is seaweed if not swamp weed, swamp grass? What is a swamp?
It's like, I think it's a muddy river water lake thing.
It's like a bog.
Mold.
Yeah, it's like a bog.
Just an insistently just mushy mess of
It's really humid. Really, it's just the worst place you can be.
smells.
Filled with crocodiles.
What are some things you did as a child that you look back and think were weird now?
Zach?
Oh, okay, well.
He's the encyclopedia of weird things you did as a kid.
Sure,
This
sparks
one, I did a lot of weird things, but one of them was, it seems very like a symptom of autism now that I think about it.
This is the second, maybe the third symptom of autism.
I was sitting on the mat, and it was my second year of primary school, and I was thinking, I wonder if the teacher will be able to identify which student is making a sound on the mat. So I sat there and went, and just let out this big hum, and the teacher just said, "Stop it, Zach," and I was, oh, okay, experiment closed.
That sounds like something you do if you've been bred in captivity, just been released for the first time. You're like, I wonder if I make a sound, will the teacher be able to hear where it's coming from?
Yeah, I look back on that and it's quite strange. And there was another time I'd watched X-Men 1. This was the same class, actually. I'd watched X-Men 1 and I took like a liking towards, like, Toad.
Yep.
And sometimes I'd sit with him like he does, with his legs bent up like a grasshopper and with my feet with my hands on the ground in like a perch. And I sort of said to the teacher, I've got something to show the class. And she says, show and tell's not today. And I said, well, can we come to a compromise, sort of, not like that, or didn't say that, but I sort of got to that point.
I'm going to do it anyway.
And so the bell went, and she said, out to recess, and she said, okay, class, stay behind, Zach's got something to show you. And I said, what? And I just crouched down and stood back up. Said I could sit like a frog. I didn't have many friends.
That's not quite what I was expecting. I don't know what I did as a kid that was weird, but I remember you talking about show and tell made me think of my show and tell. And I just remember I used to always just bring the stuff I'd bought in the weekend. And as a spoiled only child, I bought quite a lot of stuff. And I must have seemed like a bit of an arsehole, I think.
What did you bring? An example?
I just remember one time I got these Batman books and I brought them to school and I wanted to show everyone that I got these books. And I remember one of the books got stolen from my bag. Someone took it from my bag. And then I went to the front of the class and cried with the teacher that my books had been stolen. Or one of them, I think, because there was two. And anyway, at the end of the day, I went back and my book was there. And the teacher tried to be like, you just didn't look hard enough. And I'm like,
It was
that's,
you,
that's
bitch.
bullshit. I looked hard enough.
There was this one thing. It's actually really creepy. It must be creepy for him. I'm not going to say his name because I still know him.
Yep.
But,
Was he cousin?
there was this guy in primary school that I
So
didn't like at
still
the
no
time. I
brother.
really didn't like him. He used to bully me a little bit. And so one day I thought, I'll fucking get them back. And instead of desks, we had the thing across the wall that was like a pull-out, that had pull-out trays for every student.
Oh, yeah.
And I put in his tray a little question mark written on a bit of paper. So like a Riddler sort of thing. And anyway, it got blown right out of proportion. Like his mother came in and was like talking with the principal saying, look what was in my son's desk. And I heard rumours of the police being involved, and I was, oof. I don't know what ever happened to that.
What did you write on the other side of the paper?
Nothing, it was just a question mark.
Might as well have said I'm going to blow up the school.
There's another story similar to that. Well, blowing up school. I was with a friend, and I had a really sore thumb. And he said, we just finished doing something, and he said, what do you want to do now, Zach? And I said, chop off my thumb. And he said, okay. And he went to the teacher and said, Zach wants to kill himself. I was like 10. And the teacher came up to me, is this true, Zach? What he tells me. And I was like, yeah. and she says that you want to kill yourself. No? And that I had to go to the principal's office. I had to have like meetings. And it turns out her son killed himself like a year ago. And I didn't do anything. All I said was I want to chop off my thumb. It was really like blown out. Awesome. Anyway, any weird things you guys did?
Yeah, Richard, I want to hear a story from your childhood.
We used to stay at my grandma's house a lot. And I used to pretend that I was an animal. Various animals, one per day. But
Going through the list.
it was like method acting. There was
Breaking the
no
spell.
breaking it at all. I would walk around like a cow, or a velociraptor was my favourite one.
Oh, yes.
And she'd ask me, Richard, what do you want for breakfast? And I'd be like, she'd be like, no, what do you want? Would go on for hours, and she would just not feed me. I did that quite a lot. I used to hold in the poo for as long as I could.
I've done that before.
I'm doing that right now.
I went to Camp Adair for 3 days.
Camp Adair, I remember.
And I didn't.
That's a good time.
And at that point, I don't know how old, I think I was in year 3. And at that point, I wasn't wiping myself. I was still getting someone else to do it.
Yeah, it took me a long time.
Yeah. And so there was no one there to wipe for me, obviously.
Yeah.
So I just held it in for 3 days.
Well, I just never shit in public. So I'd hold it in for 3 days and just when I went home. Yeah, because I didn't like public toilets. Camp Adair was a good time.
Camp Adair is a good time.
I went to Camp Adair for Scouts, and every Wednesday had Scouts, and before Scouts my friend Connor would come around and would make a movie, like a little fan movie almost, on our camcorder, and I would make up superhero characters like Hot Boy and Cold Boy. And then whatever characters we made in the movies, these movies I still have on a bunch of discs, if you're ever curious to watch them. They're pretty fucking embarrassing. One time we always carried over our characters into Scouts, into the roll call. And so I'd say Zach, and then if I was Hot Boy in the movie, would try and bring the character into it, so I'd say like, I'm here, and I'm hot. And it was always something like that. And they got pretty cringy. There was one movie we made where nobody else wanted to make this movie, but I was pretty keen on making it. It was a sort of a knockoff B movie where I put a yellow pack and save bag, cut a hole in the top of it, put it over my body. That was my yellow B body. And then 2 white plastic bags over my arms, and they were my B wings. And Dad, anytime Dad brings up my childhood, what I was doing in my childhood, it was running around like a bee. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Richard, any stories?
I was very obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and I found a old aerial, one of those metal aerials that you used to have on the top of your house. You know those, the metal
Yeah.
ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
Found one of those, So I used to hammer that down, make little elven swords, and I'd just hack at the plants at the front of my house.
I used to
It'd
think
feed
that.
days, weeks. It was great.
I used to do that with an axe.
Yeah, I used to do it with an axe as
You
well.
just swing into trees.
Yeah. Chop stuff down.
Yeah.
I used to have. There was this like washing line, and it was like a T, and so it was a T, and then the lines were connected to the fence.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
Oh,
like
yeah,
T to
yeah,
the
yeah,
fence,
yeah, yeah.
and that T I used to climb up because it used to be quite tall when I was small, and so I'd shimmy up the pole, and then I'd like climb, shimmy up the pole like that, and then I'd climb along the T, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to the outer edges
Yeah.
of the T, and then anyway, as I got older, I got heavier, and I just bent both sides of the T a little bit, and so I wasn't allowed to climb on it anymore because I got too heavy for it.
We'll hear a story from Richard. Just a story.
Okay. Hope you have one prepared.
I don't know. Oh, one time at high school.
No, this is a fictional story.
Oh,
No,
fiction.
I want to hear this high school story now.
Okay, yeah, we'll hear the high school story.
There was this girl, and she just would not stop talking, ever. Sat next to her for a whole year. It was horrible. In media studies. And I shoved a piece of wrapped up paper in her mouth, and she thought I punched her in the face. So this got blown out of proportion, obviously, and the teacher threatened me with an assault charge.
Oh God!
What teacher was
You
that?
know this is an assault, and I'm like,
What teacher was that?
the one with the huge tits.
Miss Lawson.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, she's a good English teacher.
Yeah,
She liked her.
She was a very good English teacher. Yeah, it was the end of my story.
Did that go to the deans or anything?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Did you ever get a dean's report or anything?
Didn't get a dean's report. I used to always get called in by Miss Steer.
What for?
Just for shit other people used to do.
Oh, okay. So you were like the friend
I was
that
the
knew
fall
everything?
guy.
Yeah. I was neither the full guy or the guy. I just didn't talk to anybody in the faculty or upper levels of management.
Here's a fun fact. Year 13, I did a mural with one of my friends.
What was on it?
It was a man dancing, and it had like a camouflage sort of looking grey background. It's still up at the school today.
Where is it?
It's by the canteen. You know how there's
Oh,
the
yeah,
canteen.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it that guy jumping?
The guy, yeah, he's got
Oh,
a
and there's the
green thing.
fire one as well.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
do
I
that
know
one?
that.
Yeah, I
No,
know
I
that.
just
Those
did
are cool.
I just did the guy jumping, but if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you turn your head to the side, painted into the camouflage is cons is gay. It's the
Oh.
greatest thing I've
What's
ever done in my
cons?
life. He's my friend.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible to see unless you actually look for it.
Ah,
You've pulled
And
off the ultimate.
the
I
ultimate
did
heist.
crime.
the ultimate long play.
Yeah.
And Mr. Presnell knew about it full well. He knew about it before we even did it, and he still put it up.
Mr. Presnell's for the. Have I told you guys that story about how Mr. Bennett pulled me over for my socks?
Isn't
Did
like
you know
a
this story?
police
No.
No. Basically, yeah. So this was in year 9, and when I started high school, it was a difficult transition for me. I didn't have any friends, and so I was kind of just walking around in my lunch times, walking around looking like I had somewhere to go, you know.
I
And
see
so I
that.
was
Oh,
walking
yeah, it's a good
by,
time.
and I was in Mr. Bennett's art class, and so he was out standing on the steps, and I walked past his class, and he says, "Cameron, come here a minute." He goes, "Where'd you get those socks?" And I go, "Oh, the uniform shop." And this, I was a real shy kid at this point as well. He's like, "Yeah, they're not the ones we have anymore." I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, I've changed them. So the new socks have got a red stripe around the top." And he goes, "Yeah, so you need to take those off and get those changed." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Oh, and actually, they're meant to be halfway up your calf." He goes, "Yeah, so that yours are about an inch too low. You need to pull those up a little bit." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, pull them up a bit." And he's like, yeah. And then Mr. Presnell walks along and he goes, "Oh, hey, Mr. Presnell, look at these." He goes, "These are the wrong socks, eh?" He goes, Yeah. He goes, "New ones got red stripes, the uniform shop." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go get some new ones." He's like, oh yeah, and he's like, okay, well, I'll see you in art class. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, Cameron, by the way, April Fools. And I was like, oh. And this is on April 1st. And I felt it was borderline bullying, actually. I was just a target, an easy target. And then I remember Miss Uritich at the time, she walked past and she like put her arm around my shoulder and she's like, we'll get him back. And I didn't know her at this stage.
Did you ever get him back?
No. And I was a little intimidated by her because she had that real croaky voice. And I meant to tell her that story.
We'll get him back.
That's kind of what it was like. And then I meant to tell her that story in year 13, but I forgot and I never got around to telling her.
Mr. Prisoner used to always come into our art class
Yep.
because I used to have Mr. Bennett.
His favourite band's Blur.
Well,
And
us Oasis fans got things to say about that.
We sure do.
and one time Mr. Bennett came up to us. He was like, all right, to me and two of my friends. Actually, he said to the whole class, sorry. He was like, when Mr. Prisoner comes in, I want you guys to all turn around and just pull the fingers at him. Don't say anything, just pull the fingers at him as he walks through the door. So, alright, everyone's like, oh yeah. Later on that period, Mr. Presnell slinks into the room. Everyone forgets to do it except me and two of my friends. And he walks in, he's just like, oh, I see how it is. And then just walks out again.
It would have been better if it was just you. As well. If Mr. Bennett went around later and told him, like, don't do it. Would have been like, Richard, do it alone.
I thought you should say he comes in. You're the only one who does it. But also his divorce was finalised that day or something. And I thought that would have been funny, but okay, never mind.
That was the year that I was in his class was that year.
What?
The divorce year.
Oh, I didn't know he was divorced.
Did he get divorced? Oh.
Oh, that's sad then, never mind.
Yeah.
Did he talk about that?
What you knew? Nah.
Well, how'd you know about it?
Everyone knew. I think maybe you talked a little bit about it.
You know, when you're painting, you got to express your emotions. It's like my emotions at the moment, all over the place. I'm getting divorced.
What's worse, divorce or your
Death.
partner dying?
Well, it's different because if you divorce, you're ready to move on. But if they die, then you've still got those residual feelings of that you got to somehow.
So, do you know if he was the one getting the divorce? Like, he was the one who initiated it?
I think so.
But if you're
she
getting
cheated on
divorced,
him,
then
I
you
think.
have to...
Oh,
no, that's Mr. Bennett.
That was Mr. Bennett,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Mr.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Mr. Presnell.
No,
I'm talking about Mr. Presnell.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Mr. Bennett. You
yeah.
told me that story and you were like,
Yeah.
you were real beat up about it. You really felt for him.
I feel for him.
Yeah, I remember he cried one day in class.
Yeah, he was crying.
And everyone was just like, what do we do?
He used to go to the bathrooms and cry.
Remember when he grew that beard?
Yeah, I do.
It's when he took over management or something, and he got that extra pay grade, and he's like, I need a beard for this. This is too
Beard
much
stole
money.
my money.
This is too much money to spend on raises. I need to.
Alright, I'll wrap it up with a quick song. Laughing on your face is not the same without your mouth. Alright, see you next time.